Texas, home of Joe Rogan and one of the most popular places people are moving to. And there's a reason for that. As you know, I've been following the CBDC situation that's occurring in the United States. Now, my last video about Florida and Indiana stated they were banning CBDCs. Now, Texas, on the other hand, just passed a bill that stated it will be creating gold-backed CBDC. Now, if you're living in Texas and have any info about this, leave a comment down below. And if you care about freedom like I do, tap that thumbs up for me. I'd appreciate it. Now, you see, there's a few states here in the United States that are taking a stand against the idea of a central bank digital currency, also known as CBDC. And let me tell you, Texas has gone a step further and just recently passed a bill that will create a digital currency backed by 100% reserve of gold and silver. Now, this is a big deal because it directly challenges the authority of the Federal Reserve. So, Texas has taken a bold step by passing this bill, and it's definitely making waves. The idea behind it is to give businesses and ordinary people like us the opportunity to conduct transactions and make purchases using a form of money that isn't based on fiat currency. Now, you know, money is not just printed out of thin air. Now, this move is not going to sit well with the Fed, and after all, it directly challenges their control over fiscal matters in Texas. But you know what? This bill wasn't really a surprise to many of us who have been following the developments closely. And in fact, earlier this year, there were already two major initiatives in the works to create a currency that's backed by precious metals. And let me tell you, this new digital currency backed by gold and silver will serve as a great alternative to the digital dollar, which is basically just fiat currency without any intrinsic value. Now, Texas is even planning to make gold and silver legal tender within that state. And of course, all of this is a direct result of the Federal Reserve's successful development of its own CBDC. Now, it's becoming increasingly clear that having options is critical and crucial for that matter, and one option may be that people are exploring its use of precious metals. In fact, Texas has taken notice of this and recognized enduring value of silver and gold coins. Now, here is where it gets interesting. If Texas were to adopt an alternate legal tender like silver or gold, the currency issued by the Federal Reserve notes would lose its effectiveness and value. It's not just a theoretical idea either. A bill has recently passed in the Texas House Committee, and it's on its way to be voted in by the House of Representatives. What this legislation proposes is the issuance of digital currencies that are 100% backed by gold and silver alongside the physical coins themselves. And this is a big deal because these digital currencies would be fully redeemable in cash, gold, or silver. In other words, they would hold tangible value that you can rely on. So imagine a scenario where this new digital currency backed by actual precious metals becomes widely accepted for everyday transactions. It would present a significant challenge to fiat digital dollar that's not backed by anything at all and only backed by the government. And that's where this bill comes into play. And according to the bill, the controller would establish a digital currency that is backed by gold. Each unit of this digital currency would represent a specific fraction of a troy ounce of gold. Moreover, the state would hold enough gold in trust to ensure the redemption of all units of this digital currency that had been issued but not yet redeemed. So even the 2 points that I just read to you are crucial, and effectively it means that there is a tangible equivalent that is the ultimate store of value, such as gold or silver, that you can exchange one for the other at any time. Now let me explain how the bill works. If you have some of this digital currency, you can take it into the controller and exchange it for real money. And the controller will then sell you a portion of the gold they have stored in the pool depository account. The amount of gold they sell will be equivalent to the number of units of digital currency you're redeeming. And guess what? That'll give you the money they got from selling that gold. Now, it may sound a bit confusing, but let me break it down for you, because imagine if you have a bunch of these digital currency units and you take them to the controller and say, hey, I want real money for these. The controller then goes to their stash of gold and sells off a specific amount, and this amount will be equal to the number of digital currencies that you bought in. And finally, they hand you over the money that they received from selling that gold to you. So according to the bill, you'll also be able to exchange this Texas digital currency for precious metals directly, which is kind of cool. And if you hold this digital currency, you can go to the controller and redeem it for an equivalent amount. It's a fascinating concept, and I want to share my thoughts with you. Now, here's the important part to understand. The value of this new digital currency is tied to the price of precious metals, which fluctuates daily, sometimes even multiple times a day. The bill states that the value of 1 unit of the digital currency must be equal to the value of a fraction of a troy ounce of gold at the time of the transaction. And whether it's during issuance or redemption, the value will always be based on your current price of gold. Now, I'd love to hear what you think about this bill, and I think it's a move in the right direction by backing it with actual physical assets. And if you've heard of any similar initiatives in our state or other states, I know Florida and several other states are embracing similar ideas. It's quite fascinating to see such strong bipartisan support of this bill that it's receiving in Texas. And it actually reminds me of 2 other bills introduced earlier this year. The first aimed to establish gold and silver reserves for the state, and the second one proposed to make gold and silver legal tender. Now, these 3 bills combined have been introduced in just a span of 2 or 3 months, which shows that there is a growing concern and opposition to the direction of our federal fiscal policy. And these efforts would help Texas achieve greater financial independence while undermining the Federal Reserve's monopoly on money. Now, if you like this video and you haven't seen my video about Florida and Indiana, click this link right here, and I'll see you later.